Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video is composed of things that I tinkered with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. This video should contain tips and tricks of things that I've learned throughout the year. Now, I only plan on leaving this video posted for about 30 days. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching. Alright, we're going to go ahead and give another shot at replacing the oil in this truck. This truck actually has that pearl white color, like those Platinum Edition 850s had. I'm going to replace the crank seal on this BMW 318i. It's a 1996 model. It's got the 1.9 liter 4-cylinder engine. The difficulty of this job is a 4 of 5, being that it is extremely difficult often to get the crank bolt off, so you got to break that loose before you do anything else, or you're just wasting your time. And then pushing the seal in position, because the seal, if you don't have a seal install tool that I usually use on other vehicles, the seal has a spring on the inside lip, and if that seal tosses that spring while you're installing it, it's going to leak worse than it's leaking now. So the car is leaking a little oil. He initially thought it was the valve cover gaskets and the oil pan, but when I got down under there, the only thing I could find oil on was right behind the harmonic balancer, which indicates the crank seal is leaking. So if you got a leak, oil dripping somewhere, the best thing to do is check your evaporator system, make sure that's working right, your EGR, vacuum, and stuff like that. Then wash the engine down. Once you get everything washed down, drive the car 5 minutes, see where you can see oil coming from. If it's an old car like this, you only see a drop a day, man, you may want to pass on fooling with that. But if you want it tight, go ahead and do it. If you're able to see it dripping while the vehicle is running, it's definitely something that you want to take care of immediately. You know, I always tell people, if you're going through a quart of oil or more every 500 miles, you need to do something about that right now. If you're going through a quart of oil between 500 and 1,000 miles, you probably need to deal with it within 90 days. If you can stay ahead of it and you're not using more than a quart of oil every 1,000 miles, man, you may want to leave that alone. First thing I'm going to do is get the car up on ramps, show you where it's leaking, and start working on breaking that harmonic balancer bolt loose. It is very common for a car to have a valve cover gasket leak. The valve cover gasket runs along here, so if you got some big plastic cover on your car, you want to pull that off first. Check along those bolts, see if you see any evidence of oil. As you can see, all this stuff is dry. If there was oil coming off of it, you would definitely see a buildup of dirt, especially in this environment. If you see right there, there's some dirt there, so there may be a very minor leak starting there. It's not wet, it's not a drop, nothing to worry about. You can also get a coin, a quarter or something, open up this cover, pull your coils off of your spark plugs, see if there's any oil down there, because your spark plug wells have a oil seal in each one of them. If you pull any of those coils out and there's oil on the tip of them, you could have the oil well seal problem. And if that's a problem, you got to do your whole valve cover gasket to fix that. Now, you got to get under the car somehow. So we come under this one. I put the car on ramps. If you see there, there's the harmonic balancer crank seal, and that thing does have a few bolts on the front of that and that large bolt in the middle. So I'm gonna break that large bolt loose, then work on getting those small ones loose. There's probably a tool that holds the harmonic balancer with those holes right there. So I may have to go to the store and get that. But if you look there, it looks like fresh oil. that is coming off the crankshaft. It's leaking down on everything, and dirt is building up on everything. Also, if you go into here, it's not too uncommon to see the oil pan bolt leaking a little oil. I think I seen that over there. So whenever you change the oil, you need to put a new washer on that to stop that bolt from dripping. But I think our mechanical problem here is behind this harmonic balancer. That's where I see most of the fresh oil. So let me try to get something on here and break this bolt loose. What I did is get a flat tip screwdriver, pop this tensioner cap off for the I guess that's the AC compressor. Put a T55 in there, maybe a 10mm hex will go in there. I'm gonna try to break the tension loose, slide that belt off. I'm gonna put the ratchet on there, turn this thing clockwise. That should take the tension off so I can knock the belt off. That did remove the tension from the belt. However, it's not spring loaded, so I probably should have pulled this bolt loose here a little bit first. Looks like a 10mm. Having problems with my phone. The power button was stuck. Kept rebooting my phone. I ordered another one off of eBay. Got it in a day. So I'm about to tear the phone apart and try to get this fixed. So I'm not knowing what this material is that sticks the rubber coating onto the back of the phone. If anybody knows, let me know so I can order some and get this spread back on my phone backing so that I can get my phone put back together in a better, probably waterproof way. Power buttons replaced. Everything seems back to normal. This is what actually got damaged on the phone in the first place. My original phone that had a problem with the water. So anyway, I got that replaced. I'm good to go. I shouldn't have any more issues. Next up, replacing the motherboard on Diane's old computer. So let me get cracking on that. I hope I can find all the screws for that. Here's the spot on the motherboard that I believe was bad, where the monitor plugged into. So the cable still has some burn spots on it. So I'm going to try to gently brush it with a brass brush. You don't want to brush it with nothing harder because you don't want it to damage it. Brass is probably equivalent. A toothbrush or this brass brush is probably the best thing to try to clean that burn mark off. So let me give that a shot. I brushed it as best I could. Hopefully that'll be good enough for the connection to be good. Well, as soon as I plug the plug in, the whole computer flashed and I see a little glowing in the corner of the screen. So I guess this is not going to work. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.